We all think we know the story of the Last Supper, right? It's one of the most famous scenes in history. Well, today, we're going to look at it through a completely different lens. What if I told you this wasn't a story about an ending at all? What if it was about an infinite circle?
So let's just throw out our idea of a straight timeline for a minute. Picture this. The Nazarene isn't just sitting at a table. He's at a cosmic crossroads, a gateway where the past and the future crash into each other in one brilliant, intense moment of consciousness.
And that changes everything. It leads us to the big question we're exploring today. What if this whole event wasn't a goodbye? What if it was a promise to do it all over again, and again, forever?
To even begin to get our heads around this, we have to start by completely reimagining the table itself. It's not just wood and nails, it's the very stage where time and existence get a rewrite.
You know, we keep talking about this moment. So what is it exactly? Well, it's this incredible idea that the present, right now, isn't just a fleeting instant, it's everything. The past, the future, it's all packed into this one singular flash. And the Nazarene, sitting right there at the gateway, he gets it. He sees it all at once.
And that's a total game changer, isn't it? Because the goal here isn't to escape. It's not about getting to some linear heaven and leaving this all behind. No, the point is to dive in, to fully embrace this self-propelling wheel of existence and actually learn to love the spin.
Okay, so this philosophy, it naturally extends to the very elements of the meal. The bread and the wine, they're about to become something so much more than just a meal. They become symbols of a radical, powerful yes to life itself.
At the heart of this is a concept called eternal recurrence. It's a famous thought experiment from Nietzsche, and it goes like this. What if you had to live your life, this exact one, over and over again? Every single joy, every single heartbreak, every detail forever. No changes, no escape. How would that make you feel? Now, with that heavy thought in your head, think about the breaking of the bread. It takes on this whole new meaning. It's not a memorial for something that happened in the past. It's a powerful declaration, an agreement to relive everything, the good, the bad, the suffering, infinitely. It's the very substance of this great moment that must happen again and again.
You might be thinking, who on earth would agree to that? And that's a perfectly fair question. The answer lies in another beautiful and very difficult idea, amor fati. It literally means the love of one's fate. It's not about just putting up with your life. It's about falling so deeply in love with it, warts and all, that you wouldn't change a single thing. And the wine is the perfect symbol for this. It's not just wine anymore. It becomes this Dionysian nectar. Think raw, passionate, chaotic life force in a cup. Drinking it is like raising a glass to the whole crazy cycle. It's a deep, crimson yes to everything, even joyfully accepting the betrayal and pain that you know is coming.
So the key takeaway here is pretty profound. This philosophy collapses the distance between good and bad. Suddenly, the joy of this meal and the agony of the cross, they aren't separate events on a timeline anymore. They're two sides of the same eternal coin, and you have to affirm them both together.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit. We've seen the table as a map of time. But what if it's also a map of something else entirely? Something inside of us? What if it's a map of the soul?
Yeah, if we look at this through a Jungian lens, the whole scene just transforms. It's no longer a dinner party. It becomes a living diagram of our own inner world, a mandala of the soul. And every single person sitting there is a piece of you and me.
Let's break that down. At the center, you've got the Nazarene. That represents the integrated whole self. The 12 disciples orbiting him, those are the core archetypes, the basic building blocks of our personalities. And then there's Judas. He is crucial. He's the shadow, all the dark, rejected parts of ourselves we try to hide. The goal of this whole inner drama? Cosmic integration, wholeness.
This just completely flips our idea of betrayal on its head. Suddenly, Judas isn't just the villain. He's necessary. You literally cannot have light without a shadow to cast it. His action is essential to define the self. And accepting the recurrence of this dark night, well, that's the final necessary stage of becoming a whole person. All of this brings us to the climax of this interpretation. Because this supper isn't just a meal, it's a profound test. It's a challenge posed to everyone at that table, and, by extension, to every one of us.
The Nazarene offers what Nietzsche called the heaviest weight. It's the ultimate question that comes from eternal recurrence. Imagine him looking at you and asking, knowing that this very moment, this choice you're about to make, will happen again and again for all eternity. How do you choose to live it?
And really, there are only two ways to answer. You have the last man. He recoils in horror. The idea is a nightmare to him. He wants an easy, once-and-for-all salvation, a permanent rest. But then, there's the overman. The overman embraces it. They drink from the cup of recurrence without trembling, finding a kind of holy joy in the repetition of the struggle itself. They desire this moment 1,000 times over.
So what happens when you pass this test? What's the result of drinking from that cup without flinching? This is the resolution. This is the sacred yes.
See, in a circle, the end is always the beginning. The "it is finished" of the crucifixion is already contained in the "it begins" of the supper. So resurrection stops being a one-time miracle and becomes a rhythm, the natural, recurring victory of the spirit of dance over the spirit of gravity, of life over despair.
I mean, how powerful is that idea? To accept this means taking on a profound responsibility. To eat this bread is to ingest the courage to live your one, repeating life with all the intention and care of an artist creating their eternal masterpiece.
And that really brings us to the final takeaway. In this worldview, ultimate meaning isn't found in some future judgment or a distant heaven. The only altar that matters is the present moment. And the only witness is eternity itself, watching the dance of a soul that has bravely chosen to affirm itself forever.
And so, this explainer ends by passing the heaviest weight on to you. The ultimate test from this reimagined table is now yours. Look at your life right now, in this very moment. Can you say yes to it? Can you love your fate so completely that you would desire this moment 1,000 times over?